Most people think cashews are one of the healthiest nuts you can eat. But did you know that eating them the wrong way can actually age your body faster, inflame your joints, and even raise your blood pressure, especially after 50 pounds? You might believe raw cashews are the purest, most natural choice. Yet some raw cashews contain a hidden compound that can irritate your skin, slow your digestion, and stress your liver. As we age, our bodies process fats, sodium, and toxins more slowly, which means these small mistakes can quietly build up over time. According to research from the Mayo Clinic, certain nut habits can trigger inflammation and weight gain in older adults if portioned or stored incorrectly. In this video, you'll discover the 5 dangerous cashew mistakes and the simple fixes that keep their benefits without the risks. Stay until the end, because one shocks almost everyone over 60. Comment yes if you want more videos like this. 5. Eating raw cashews the healthy way. Many people proudly say they eat raw cashews because they sound cleaner, purer, and more natural. But here's the hidden truth. There's no such thing as truly raw cashews. Cashews grow inside a shell that contains urushiol, the same irritant found in poison ivy. Even tiny traces of it can cause rashes, digestive irritation, or fatigue, especially for older adults with more sensitive systems. Most raw cashews sold in stores are actually treated to remove this toxin. But when brands skip proper heating, or when people buy unverified bulk nuts online, they risk consuming cashews that aren't fully detoxified. Now, why does this matter more for adults over 50? Because with age, our liver enzymes slow down, and our immune system becomes more reactive to chemical irritants. That means your body can take longer to neutralize urushiol and other natural compounds even in small amounts. According to nutrition experts at the Cleveland Clinic, older adults process fats and plant compounds less efficiently than younger people, which makes gentle preparation even more important. Take, for example, Susan, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Arizona. She switched to raw cashews because she thought they'd be better for her arthritis. Within weeks, she noticed red patches on her hands and mild stomach upset after snacking. Her doctor suggested she try roasted, unsalted cashews instead. Within a month, the irritation disappeared and she still enjoyed her daily handful safely. So what's the safe fix? Always choose dry roasted or lightly roasted cashews. These are heat-treated, enough to remove natural toxins, yet gentle enough to preserve healthy fats, magnesium, and antioxidants. Avoid any online products labeled 100% raw, unless you can confirm they've been steamed or roasted. And remember, even the healthiest foods can become harmful if not prepared correctly. Here's the bottom line. Cashews can be a powerful heart-friendly snack, but only when they're safely roasted, stored properly, and eaten in balance. Choosing the right form means less irritation, better digestion, and steadier energy throughout your day. 4. Overeating a handful daily. We've all heard the saying, just a handful of nuts a day keeps your heart strong. It sounds simple, almost harmless, but for adults over 50, that handful of cashews might quietly be doing more harm than good. Here's why. A single handful of cashews, the kind you scoop without thinking, can contain over 150 calories and 12 grams of fat. 2 handfuls. That's nearly the same as a full meal in energy. Yet most people eat them on top of their regular meals, not in place of them. Cashews have a creamy, comforting texture that makes them dangerously easy to overeat. They don't crunch like almonds or walnuts. They melt. And that soft bite can trick the brain into thinking you've eaten less than you have. Before you know it, you've nibbled through half a cup, almost 600 calories, worthwhile reading, watching TV, or chatting. Now, for someone in their 20s or 30s, the body might handle that extra intake with ease. But after 50, your metabolism has already slowed by about 2 to 3% per decade. You burn fewer calories at rest, and digestion slows. What once supported heart health can now quietly add inches to your waistline and strain your joints. But the issue isn't just about calories. Cashews are naturally high in omega-6 fatty acids, a type of fat that's beneficial in balance, but when consumed in excess, it can fuel inflammation. For older adults already managing arthritis, joint stiffness, or mild swelling, this can make a noticeable difference. That dull ache in your fingers or knees in the morning. Sometimes it's not aging, it's accumulation. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, nuts remain one of the best sources of plant-based fats, protein, and minerals if portioned properly. Harvard researchers found that keeping servings around 1 ounce per day, about 16 to 18 cashews, helps maintain heart and metabolic health without tipping into excess fat or calorie overload. Beyond that amount, the benefits plateau and the risks grow. Let's look at a real example. Robert, a 62-year-old retired architect from London, made what he thought was a healthy switch. He traded chips for cashews, good fats, he said. Each night, he poured himself a generous bowl to snack on while watching his favorite shows. Over 6 months, his weight crept up and his knees started aching. When his dietitian asked him to measure his snack, they discovered he was eating nearly 4 servings a night, over 600 extra calories daily. Once he began portioning exactly 18 cashews per day, stored them in a small container, and paired them with a few apple slices for fiber, everything changed. He lost 6 pounds in 8 weeks, and his morning stiffness eased noticeably. The takeaway: cashews aren't the problem, quantity and awareness are. Think of cashews not as a snack, but as a nutrient supplement, a concentrated source of minerals and healthy fats. The older we get, the more our body values moderation over abundance. Here's how to make cashews work for you, not against you. Pre-portion your servings in small containers or jars. Avoid unconscious eating. Never eat straight from the bag. Combine with fiber or protein like Greek yogurt, oatmeal, or an apple to stay fuller longer and keep blood sugar steady. Cashews can be an incredible ally supporting heart rhythm, muscle strength, and mood stability. But even the healthiest food turns against us when portioned carelessly. So here's the expert bottom line. 1 small handful, about 18 nuts, is all your body needs. More doesn't mean better. It means slower metabolism, hidden inflammation, and gradual fatigue. Respect your portion, enjoy the richness, and let these nuts serve your longevity, not sabotage it. Next, we'll explore another sneaky trap: how salted and flavored cashews can silently raise your blood pressure and dehydrate your body from within. 3. Ignoring salted and flavored varieties. For many adults, cashews aren't eaten plain anymore. They're roasted with sea salt, glazed with honey, or tossed in spicy coatings that look harmless, even gourmet. But here's the hidden danger. Those added seasonings can quietly turn a healthy nut into a sodium bomb that stresses your blood pressure, kidneys, and circulation, especially after 50. Let's start with the salt itself. A single serving of salted cashews, about 1 ounce, can contain 150 to 200 milligrams of sodium. Eat a few handfuls and you've easily added 600 to 800 milligrams of sodium to your day without even realizing it. For comparison, the Cleveland Clinic recommends that adults over 60 stay below 500 milligrams of sodium per day to protect the heart, arteries, and brain. That means a few casual snacks can take up half your daily limit in minutes. Now imagine that happening every evening. You reach for a small bowl of flavored cashews while watching your favorite show. It feels innocent even, healthy because they're nuts, right? But what happens next is more subtle. The salt makes you thirsty. You reach for more drinks, and your body begins to retain fluid. The next morning, your rings feel tighter, your ankles may look puffier, and your blood pressure runs just a little higher. This cycle repeats quietly, day after day. Over time, it doesn't just affect how you feel, it influences how your heart and kidneys work. Seniors are especially vulnerable here because kidney function naturally declines with age, making it harder to excrete excess sodium. The result: more bloating, higher blood pressure, and a heavier strain on your cardiovascular system. But salt isn't the only villain. Many flavored cashews, honey roasted, BBQ, chili lime, Caramel are coated in sugar, artificial additives, or hydrogenated oils that defeat the very benefits of the nut itself. These coatings can raise blood sugar, spike insulin, and inflame tissues, undoing the heart protective effects of cashew's natural fats and antioxidants. Let's take a real-world example. Linda, a 70-year-old from Melbourne, switched from chips to smoked BBQ cashews, believing it was the smarter snack. Within weeks, she noticed more morning stiffness, swelling in her fingers, and a persistent dryness in her mouth. When her doctor reviewed her food journal, the culprit was clear. She'd been eating nearly 1,000 milligrams of sodium each night, all from her healthy nuts. When she switched to unsalted, dry roasted cashews, seasoned at home with a pinch of cinnamon and turmeric, her energy improved, her swelling decreased, and her blood pressure stabilized within weeks. So, what's the smarter way forward? Choose unsalted or lightly salted cashews, ideally labeled dry roasted. If you crave flavor, create your own. Toss your cashews in a pan with olive oil and dust with paprika, cinnamon, or a touch of cayenne. You'll get bold flavor without the sodium overload. Another tip: read labels carefully. If the ingredients list words like maltodextrin, corn syrup solids, vegetable oil blend, or flavoring, it's a sign that the nuts have been overly processed, which often means hidden sugars, trans fats, and preservatives your body doesn't need. Here's the expert bottom line. The real health power of cashews lies in their simplicity: pure nuts, gently roasted, and portioned with care. When we strip away the coatings and excess salt, we allow their natural minerals, magnesium, copper, and zinc to support our heart, bones, and nerves. Cashews are meant to nourish, not to bloat. By keeping them clean and natural, you're not just protecting your heart, you're supporting circulation, mobility, and longevity. Next, we'll uncover another sneaky mistake that even health-conscious adults often make: pairing cashews with the wrong foods, which can quietly spike your blood sugar and drain your energy. 2. Mixing cashews with the wrong foods. Cashews are often praised as a perfect snack. They're rich in healthy fats, packed with magnesium, and satisfy hunger quickly. But here's the overlooked truth: how you eat cashews matters as much as how much you eat. When paired with the wrong foods, especially sweet or starchy ones, their benefits can quietly turn into burdens for your metabolism, digestion, and long-term energy. Cashews digest slowly. Their healthy fats and proteins are designed to release energy gradually. That's part of what makes them excellent for heart and brain health. But when you combine them with fast-burning carbohydrates like dried fruits, cookies, crackers, or sweetened yogurt, you create a metabolic mismatch. The sugar digests almost instantly, causing a quick blood sugar spike. Then, the fat from the cashews slows digestion, trapping that sugar in your bloodstream for longer. The result is a delayed, heavier energy crash that leaves you tired, foggy, and craving more sugar later in the day. This is especially important after 50 C. With age, insulin sensitivity declines, meaning your cells don't absorb sugar as efficiently as they once did. When high-fat foods and high-sugar foods are eaten together, blood sugar can stay elevated longer, and your body releases more insulin to cope. Over time, this can lead to stubborn belly fat, lower energy, and a slower metabolism, even when you're eating healthy. The National Institutes of Health (NIH) emphasizes that food combinations, not just calories, determine how well older adults maintain stable energy and weight. In simple terms, the same handful of cashews can either nourish you or drain you, depending on what you eat them with. Let's make this real. Diane, a 58-year-old retired nurse from Toronto, loved her mid-afternoon healthy trail mix, cashews, raisins, and a sprinkle of chocolate chips. It gave her comfort until she noticed her energy crashing around 4 p.m. and her cravings for sweets intensifying. Her dietitian suggested a simple change: separate the cashews from the sweets. She started eating cashews with a few celery sticks or a boiled egg instead, saving fruit for later. Within a week, her blood sugar stabilized, her energy stopped dipping, and she felt clear-headed through the afternoon for the first time in years. This shift may sound small, but metabolically, It's powerful. When cashews are paired with fiber or protein, they work in harmony with your body, slowing glucose absorption, supporting steady energy, and nourishing your heart. When combined with sugar or alcohol, that harmony disappears. The liver prioritizes sugar or alcohol metabolism, forcing the healthy fats in cashews to be stored rather than used for energy. And here's something few people realize. Cashews contain a natural amino acid called tryptophan, which supports calmness and mood stability. But that benefit only works when insulin levels are steady. Eat cashews alone or with vegetables, and you'll likely feel relaxed and satisfied. Eat them with sugary foods, and the mood benefit is lost. So, how should you pair cashews for maximum vitality after 50 days? Pair with protein. Add them to Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a salad with lean chicken or lentils. Add fiber. Enjoy them with apple slices, cucumber sticks, or oatmeal to keep blood sugar steady. Avoid sugary or alcoholic combinations. Skip honey-roasted nuts, sweet trail mixes, or wine pairings. The older body is wise but sensitive. It rewards balance, not overload. Cashews can be your ally in aging well if you respect how they interact with other foods. Here's the expert bottom line. Cashews are slow fuel, not fast fuel. Treat them as a stabilizer for your body's energy system, not a dessert companion. When you eat them with clean, balanced foods, you support smooth digestion, stable blood sugar, and long-lasting focus, the exact kind of strength your body deserves after 50 miles. Next, we'll explore the most overlooked yet damaging mistake of all, how improper storage can quietly turn healthy cashews rancid, strip away their nutrients, and increase inflammation without you ever noticing. 1. Storing cashews the wrong way. You can choose the best cashews, roast them gently. Measure your portions perfectly and still lose all their benefits if you store them the wrong way. Most people don't realize that cashews are one of the most delicate nuts when it comes to oxidation, and improper storage can quietly turn them rancid, stripping away nutrients and even creating compounds that irritate the body. Here's why this matters so much, especially after 50 hours. Cashews are rich in monounsaturated fats, the same heart-healthy kind found in olive oil. These fats support your arteries, your brain, and your skin, but they're also highly sensitive to air, heat, and light. When exposed to these elements for too long, they begin to oxidize a chemical change that alters their structure and produces compounds called lipid peroxides. These are the same substances that contribute to inflammation, cell aging, and oxidative stress. Now, here's the catch. Older adults are naturally more vulnerable to oxidative stress because the body's antioxidant defenses weaken with age. Your liver clears toxins more slowly, and your cells regenerate at a gentler pace. So when you eat nuts that have even slightly turned rancid, your body works harder to neutralize the oxidative compounds, using up valuable nutrients like vitamin E and glutathione. This process doesn't make you sick immediately. It's subtle. You might notice mild bloating, fatigue, or a slight off taste in your mouth after eating your usual handful. Over time, that low-level stress adds up. The Cleveland Clinic warns that nuts stored in warm or humid environments can go rancid within weeks, even if they still look fine. And once oxidation starts, refrigeration or freezing can't reverse it. Let's take a practical example. Harold, a 74-year-old from Oregon, bought cashews in bulk from a warehouse store to save money. He kept them in a plastic jar in his pantry for 6 months. One day, he noticed a faint bitter taste but assumed it was normal. Within a few weeks, he started feeling sluggish after snacks and noticed a bit more joint stiffness. When he switched to freshly roasted cashews stored in glass jars in the refrigerator, those issues quietly disappeared. Here's the expert storage guide I recommend for adults who want to keep their cashews both safe and potent. Use airtight glass jars, not plastic containers or bags. Plastic allows slow oxygen exchange and can even leach tiny amounts of chemicals into the nuts over time. Store in a cool, dark place, ideally the refrigerator or freezer, if you buy in bulk. Cashews last up to 6 months in the fridge and a year in the freezer, without losing freshness. Avoid sunlight and heat. Never leave them near the stove or on a kitchen counter, where warmth accelerates oxidation. Buy in small batches. It's better to restock monthly than store for months. Freshness equals vitality. Do a smell and taste test. Fresh cashews smell mild and nutty. Rancid ones smell slightly metallic, or like paint. When in doubt, toss them out. Your body deserves better fuel. Here's the deeper truth. Food is energy, and aging bodies thrive on fresh energy. The fats, minerals, and antioxidants in cashews are only beneficial when they're alive and stable, not oxidized. Treating your nuts like a perishable food, not a pantry item, can make a real difference in how light, clear, and energized you feel. The expert bottom line: store your cashews like medicine for your body, because they are. Keep them cool, airtight, and fresh, and they'll reward you with clean energy, calmer joints, and sharper focus. Now that we've uncovered all 5 mistakes, let's bring it all together in a short, empowering conclusion. A reminder that small changes in awareness can make a lifelong difference in how you age, feel, and thrive. So here's the truth. Cashews themselves are not the problem. The danger lies in the little habits that most of us never think about, habits that quietly steal their goodness and turn a healthy snack into a subtle stress on your body. For many adults over 50, cashews are a daily treat, soft, rich, and comforting. But every benefit they offer depends entirely on how you choose, prepare, and store them. When you eat them raw, you risk mild toxins that irritate digestion. When you eat too many, you overload your metabolism with fat and calories. Your body can't burn as easily as it once did. When you buy salted or flavored versions, you add sodium and chemicals that raise blood pressure and cause swelling. When you mix them with sugary foods, you trigger sugar spikes and fatigue instead of steady energy. And when you store them carelessly, you allow their delicate fats to turn rancid, slowly feeding inflammation instead of vitality. Yet the beauty of all this is that every one of these mistakes can be fixed effortlessly. Choose dry roasted, unsalted cashews. Keep your serving small, about a handful. Pair them with clean protein or fiber. Store them in glass jars in the fridge, not on the counter. Tiny adjustments like these transform cashews back into what they were meant to be: a heart-friendly, brain-boosting, energy sustaining food that supports graceful aging. Because healthy aging isn't about cutting things out, it's about doing them smarter. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who loves nuts, and comment yes below if you'd like more simple, science-based wellness videos like this one. And as always, this video is for educational purposes only. If you have any concerns about your diet or health, consult your healthcare provider. Here's to staying sharp, strong, and vibrant, one smart bite at a time.